everybody, and welcome to In Studio. I'm your host, Mark Tatro, and joining me this evening on the show is an incredibly talented young musician who I'm a huge fan of, hailing from Southwestern Ontario, Mr. Jacob Barber. Jacob, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Thank you for being a guest on the show. And this is a little, I want it to be an intimate chat because we've never really been in a room together to chat music, which I'm super excited about. But also, I'm excited for a lot of people to get to know the kind of more artsy music side that maybe, when you're playing shows, you don't really get to hear about. So thank you for this. And there's a ton to talk about. So I think what I'll do to get started is kind of ask, like, how did you get the bug and what got you started playing music? Like, what made you go, I think I can do this. This is something I want to do.
Well, I've always loved music, and I've always listened to it ever since I was a child. And I guess one thing that inspired me was in high school, I had a teacher who used to play guitar and stuff while we'd enter the room.
What high school did you go to?
Northern.
Oh, Northern, okay.
And he was actually a Comtech teacher named Mr. Moyer, and shout out to Mr. Moyer.
Yeah, teachers need to hear that stuff. That's cool, though.
Yeah, and basically one of the projects was it was kind of like you could pick your own thing. So
okay.
I was just starting to play guitar, not even writing songs or anything.
Right.
And he set up this whole little studio in the corner of the class, and I just got to play around on all the equipment.
So what were you what year was that? What is it it was Pro Tools on a computer, or is it an old?
It was a
BC,
digital
like a Zoom unit with a built-in CD burner with the 8-track faders and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah. And just kind of messed around with that for honestly a couple months in that class, and then recorded a few songs without even really knowing how to play guitar that well.
So you picked up the hobby of recording at the same time you picked up learning the instrument for recording.
Yeah, basically. I'd done a couple cover songs and stuff, for the first year or something. I would just, learn covers, but...
Yep. So would you say equal hobby, and I think I already know the answer because I'm a fan of yours, but is the, guitar playing is right up there with the studio as an instrument recording?
For sure. I'm just more of a songwriter as opposed to a guitarist. And I love recording. It's how I write, basically.
Yes, you're also a really, really incredible guitar player, but no, that's cool how that feels. So now I happen to know your back catalog quite well, but maybe some of the viewers don't. But what I wanted to talk to you about is, I swear you're recording on a Tascam or a cassette. It doesn't seem like you're Pro Tooling and auto-tuning, and maybe you could share a bit about your recording methods on at least your last two solo projects.
Yeah, for sure. I recorded my first two solo albums mainly on a 4-track cassette recorder.
Why? I love that too, but why? I'm just curious.
Well, I find I enjoy the sound of the old tape sound.
Yeah.
And also when I record on the computer, I find that I kind of get too carried away with trying to fine tune
the rabbit hole of EQing and noise and pulling out stuff.
Exactly. So this way I just record what I like in the song, and then that's what's there. And I can mess with it a bit, but it's kind of I enjoy the sound, and then it's there.
It's more enjoyable. I think there's an immediacy to recording on tape like that. That's 100 years ago, before you were born, probably. In the late 90s. It's funny, I had a supportive teacher as well who, for one of my projects, everyone was getting into, I can't even remember, maybe the early days of Photoshop. And I was I love music production. I want to record my band. And they were what are you talking about? So the teacher at the time was really cool to let me bring in my drums, and I was laying them down. No click track, right? And just the immediacy of throwing mics in front of stuff and hearing it. I wasn't hearing the hiss, or I was speeding up or slowing down. I'm just oh my goodness, this is something I can do. I can record myself and hear myself played back. And then you start getting into layering tracks and adding the bass and adding guitar and bouncing tracks, and I'll just do a shaker or a tambourine, and then all of a sudden you've made this thing. And in those early days, I remember when our band started getting pretty serious about, we were on a label, and I was why don't we just buy a Tascam to get demos done? And at the time we were oh, they got these digital recorders, we should get into that. And I was my hobby is songwriting, not recording. Learning all the stuff I have came from that, but there's nothing more fun than just throwing mics in front of stuff and just hearing it played back, even if there's hiss or clipping or whatever.
Yeah.
And it might even add to the sound if things get a little crackly and cool, right?
For sure, yeah.
And I noticed that on your first solo record. Let's talk a bit about that. So that came out, was it, oh my gosh, it's been a couple years now. When did your
yeah,
first
like
solo
a
record
year and a
come out?
half or so, maybe. I don't know. This is because of the whole COVID at times, kind of like
We've
a
lost
weird.
a year, yeah, because it seems new-ish to me, but it was probably 2019.
I think it was the very early 2020, like.
Okay.
Yeah, so almost a year, I guess, or
And
a
the
year.
title of that record for the folks at home was
Living Little Room, yeah.
Yeah, so I
And,
would say it wrong.
Yeah, I
Living-
recorded it in like this tiny den in my apartment, and
Yeah.
it's just like all the instruments were just like filling the entire space of the room, and I just had like the computer or the Tascam, and just,
Yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, it certainly has a lot of amazing songs, and there was a video for Living Little Room that I really enjoyed, and it's you playing all the instruments, what I assume is throughout your living little apartment or
Yeah.
something, and I thought that was really cool. But your writing, for sure, on that record, and I think I've heard a couple songs off your new album, which is called Loving Friends. It's super amazing, and you should check it out. I'll promote it so you don't have to.
Thanks.
But they're so riff-driven. Can you talk about how you write songs with your band, Dream Seer, and as a solo artist?
Well, with the band, lately, it started as a solo project, but now it's more of a collaborative project. So
Okay.
when my band Dreams Here is in the writing kind of phase of music, I don't know, someone will just come up with like a chord progression most of the time. Lately is how we've been approaching it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll kind of just build from there and just kind of jam maybe that chord progression.
Yeah, I don't think you're a jam band. I think you're a collective of songwriters.
Yeah.
But maybe, like you said, the riff, and then let's just see what happens kind of
Yeah,
thing.
well, it's kind of, with Dreams Here, my band, it's, I guess a lot of the songs that you've probably heard before
Mm-hmm.
were almost recorded more as a solo project. So that's
Okay.
why you might hear them more as like songwriting. Because it's like, before I did music on my own, it was through Dreams Here, and then we just had the band to perform, and they would add their parts, the different members.
Right, and
But-
let's talk about that because your drummer is phenomenal, Spencer Elizabeth, if I pronounced that right?
Spencer Elizabeth.
He's a maniac on drums. I've jammed with him. Hi, Spencer. We can plug him.
Yeah,
And
Spencer.
your guitar player, Olivia.
Walsh, yeah.
Do
Olivia
you
Walsh.
know her at all? Or
Yeah.
do you know her last name? Okay. She's incredible because I love, they have a very surf rock, reverb, washy kind of 60s. You're
Yeah.
never doing the same thing at the same time, really. It's very loose, and I like that. And of course, Kyle is your bass player, and he'll be a guest on another show. He's just always smiling when he plays. Like he just likes to, play. Like you're just a good collective. And so when you're writing on your own, I think as an outside looking in, it's pretty riffy because you're kind of like at home, dung, dung, dung,
Yeah.
dung, 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 and then you're like, okay, I could build on that. Let's loop that. Or is that how you? How do you do that?
Yeah,
Or how do you
with my solo stuff, sometimes I'll just like write the song on the guitar, singing it, writing the words and the chords, kind of like classic writing style,
Yeah.
you know. But sometimes I'll just like something will just pop into my head, and I'll record it and just build off that, you know. Get a guitar riff like you're saying, and then, you know, add drums or add a lead that goes with the riff or
Yeah.
bass, and just kind of layering things and getting inspired as I continue to layer and giving me new ideas. Sometimes I won't even start with a song, it'll just be like a part, and I just kind of add a part, you know what I
Because
mean?
if you listen closely, you'll have what sounds like synth, but it's almost like an old Casio keyboard or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then there's a lot of percussion in and around the drums, and there's always a really cool bass line. And then your vocal is like a very high tenor. Can we talk about singing? Like, did you grow up like, I'm going to be a singer? Like,
Oh, no,
because
not at
I'm a
all,
big
no.
fan of your voice, and so is we play your songs at home all the time. We really like the
Wow.
way you sing. But
Thanks, Mark.
yeah,
But no, I didn't ever grow up singing. I didn't even really think I was a like musician or could do any music or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just like I said, in high school, got
Anything you get
really
your
into
hands on.
music, and like hearing these artists that were like coming out that were, you know, making everything at home, kind of like the bit more lo-fi sound,
Sure.
and then it kind of seemed really approachable, and I picked up the guitar. Like my family has musicians in it, like but I was never one of them.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
then-
say, like, did you have gear at home lying around that you could pick up at any time?
Oh no, not really. There was a piano, but I didn't really play it, and there was a acoustic guitar that my brother played.
I wonder if, like just to tie into that, like I grew up and my parents we never had gear at home. Like it was such a thing to see a guitar or drums. Like I think that's why I was drawn to that. Like, yeah, those like our kids are starting to play piano. I don't want to. I want them to find it like a little secret in a box. Like just make it your own and not push. Because there's something really exciting when you kind of go, oh, I can pick the guitar. I'll pick up a bass. Like I'm not a bass player. I'm not a singer. I'm not a drummer. And all of a sudden you're like, well, dude, you've done like 2 solo records, and I think you are, right? It's funny when you kind of go,
Yeah.
my goal is songwriting, and that's all I really think about.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, yeah, I didn't really think of myself as a musician or singer. Sort of picked up the guitar and learned these songs that I liked on the radio that or on the internet.
Who were your influences? Like what kind of bands were making you go, I could probably give that a shot? Or
A huge couple bands come to mind. Mac DeMarco?
I don't.
He's just like a Canadian songwriter. Kind of does it all on his own, kind of in his house, sort of lo-fi style. Really like approachable songs and just like simple Beatles-y type songs.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a geezer, but in the 90s, that was our Elliott Smith, which I'm sure you're familiar with Elliott Smith.
Yeah,
where,
that kind of vibe.
Yeah, or Sufjan, where it's just kind of him in a room. And
Yeah.
you can hear the fan buzzing in the background on the tracks, but
Exactly.
you're like, oh, wow. Like,
It's kind of like more, you kind of think like, oh, I can do that maybe or something.
Yeah.
Because you just hear how like real it sounds. Or
were you
whatever.
ever into any of the mainstream rock stuff, like schlocky?
Well, growing up, one of the first bands I loved was like Green Day and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I loved Pink Floyd too. Like
Really?
that's so weird. I was like 10 years old and just like obsessed with Pink Floyd for no reason. I like heard them on the radio.
So are you
It's
just like turning up the reverb on Olivia's amp? Like, no, I want more like this. And she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, kind of sometimes.
That's fun. That's cool. So, yeah, you seem really self-taught, and there's always such a personal touch to what you do. Like, I don't know if you want to show the cassette to the viewers at
Sure,
home. Or you can
yeah.
maybe hold it up. We'll try.
Yeah, this cassette, we just printed it. Loving Friends, my new album, solo album, and all home design. The lead guitarist from Dreamseer made the cover, and yeah, it's very.
So maybe
Love
Jacob's
it.
strong suit is not sales, but it's an actual awesome album. I'm a huge fan of it. I'm also trying to crack you up and make you laugh.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up because you're going to play some songs for us tonight. What songs are you playing, and do you want to talk a bit about what you're playing before you?
Sure, yeah, I'm gonna play. The first song is called "Hey Lover." It's off my first album, "Living Little Room." All my music's available on Spotify and Bandcamp. You can buy it there, and I'm gonna actually put up the tape for sale on there. Second song is called "Oh Brother," and that's a song for my brother.
Cool.
It's on my new album, this Loving Friends album. And then the final song I'm gonna play is called "Sunshine Girl," and it's off of the Dreams Here album, West Grove Drive.
Yes, please check those out. And Jacob, we barely scratched the surface. I could talk to you all night. Thank you so much for being a guest. I hope you had fun.
Thanks for having
And
me.
I look forward to hearing you play. So let's take a listen after the break to Jacob Barton playing some of his solo tracks. Thank you.
Thanks. Yep.
All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This first song is called "Hey Lover." It's off my first solo album called "Living Little Room." Hey lover, I got a question. Are you still looking in my direction? Hey lover, I need to know now. that you won't forget me. I'll be dreaming of you. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen your eyes light up at the sight of me. Oh baby, can't you see? Life moves fast, you blink and it's gone. I know you call me crazy, I'm losing all control. I'm in love, not lazy, I know. Hey lover, I got a feeling that you might just give me a little healing. Hey lover, I need to know now. Don't you forget me while I'm dreaming of you. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen your eyes light up at the sight of me. Oh baby, can't you see? Life moves fast, you blink and it's gone. I know you call me crazy, I'm losing all control. I'm in love, not lazy, I know. And the next song I'll play is called Oh Brother. It's off of my second solo album called Loving Friends. It's available on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places you can stream music, as well as my Bandcamp, Jacob Barber, at bandcamp.com. And might be selling the tape there too. Never knew a life without you there. Born with my very own best friend. I don't tell you enough that you mean so much, brother. I don't know life without you, brother. You have always been there, brother. Don't wanna know life without you, brother. You have always been there for me. La da la da 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 la da la da 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 la da la da 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 la da la da da la da. I don't wanna know a life without you there. For you're my very own best friend. I don't tell you enough that you mean so much, brother. I don't know without you, brother. You have always been there, brother. I don't wanna know a life without you, brother. You have always been there for me. Hey. That's a song for my brother Marcus Barber. If you're watching at home, hi Marcus. I'm gonna play another song called Sunshine Girl off of my band's first full-length album called West Grove Drive. Check that out everywhere too. Well, I never had a reason to doubt it. The love you give is gold. Well, I saw the sun shine into your eyes to light my morning sky. And if you could see yourself as I see you, surely there would be a halo behind. Heaven's right here, the moment your lips touch into mine. 'Cause you are my life, you make me feel alright. And I hope this love lasts forever, baby. We're better together, my sunshine girl. Keep me warm all winter long. You keep me warm all winter. Ooh, sha-la-la-la-la, ooh, sha-la-la-la-la, ooh, sha-la-la-la-la. Someday I'll die. I don't wanna lose you when everyone gets old. While I'm alive, I'll never forget you. I'll treat you good as gold. 'Cause you pick me up whenever I'm blue. Well, I thank the stars for giving me you. 'Cause this is a love you get once in a lucky life. 'Cause you are my life, you make me feel alright. Yeah, you are my life, you make me feel alright. Yeah, you are my life, you make me feel alright. Yeah, you are my life, you make me feel alright. And I hope this love lasts forever, baby. We're better together, my sunshine girl. Keep me warm all winter long. You keep me warm all winter long. All right. Want to thank Mark for having me in his awesome studio. And he's going to come up and we're going to jam a song, another Dreamseer track called Mary. And thanks, Mark, for having me on. It's been a lot of fun. This is off of our second EP called Good Is Gone, Dreamseer EP. Mary never stood a chance. She went down to the river to wash her hair, but she never gave a care. All she wanted was a man to take her hand. Mary never stood a chance. mind.